So I am president of Why Us. It is an anti-human trafficking campaign. We do a lot of educating individuals on campus as well as putting on different events. We also work with outside organizations, AIDS Healthcare Foundation, 11th Candle Company.
Having negative cognitions or moods, again, the individual might, from early childhood, not really be able to understand the emotions that they're feeling or how to exhibit those in a healthy way.
So She Is a Name is an anti-human trafficking nonprofit. We launched in 2010 just as a t-shirt awareness campaign. So all we did was sell t-shirts and give the proceeds to different nonprofits in Columbus. And that's all we did until 2014, 2015. When our former executive director came on staff, she took about a year to do research to figure out what's actually needed in the anti-trafficking world. And so through her research came our 3 pillars of programming. So education, collaboration, survivor care. So all of those are geared towards helping all those impacted by human trafficking be restored into society and thriving in community.
I would just say being educated is the first and foremost thing. You can't do anything or hope if you don't know what the topic is or what it includes. So I say being educated, just knowing your surroundings, being confident in yourself, because a lot of these Johns or pimps, that's what they call them, go after people who are vulnerable. They see your vulnerabilities and that's what they'll go for. Typically, just start with a relationship. It's the girls that are, homeless or say don't have any place to go, or the ones who aren't shown that support and love from their parents or guardians and things of that sort. And so you're out in the world alone and you think you found this person who actually cares about you and who are willing to help you get through what you're going through, but halfway through the line they have switched their personality and now they're not the same person that they used to be. And now that they've bought you all these things to bring you in, now they feel like it's your turn to bring them back what they gave you. It's really not that easy for people in this predicament to just leave, because sometimes these Johns or pimps take everything from them, identification.
Again, we say everybody's impacted by human trafficking. Statistics tell me that largely women and children are being trafficked, but men and boys are trafficked as well. And there's also a big need in the LGBTQ community.
Well, I think it starts with spreading the resources you already have. So, for example, if I was raised in a household where I know what human trafficking is, or if I have friends that are in organizations such as Why Us and they already know, then I'm going to be able or try to pass those resources on to someone else. So try and let them know through inviting them to Why Us meetings or sending them to the Polaris Project website so they can kind of empower themselves. Once they're already empowered, specifically speaking of the individual level, they can kind of continue to pay it forward and pass that information all along to their network. However, I think that a large aspect of prevention is advocacy, and that's where the politicians and policy comes into play, because once we get in the schools and focus on our education of human trafficking there, that's how entire classes, entire schools can be empowered and know how to prevent human trafficking and kind of save themselves and their peers. There's definitely strides to be made with new laws relating to human trafficking. I know Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, she recently made the Fight Online Sex Trafficking Act, which shut down websites like Backpage and just general soliciting websites. So that was beneficial for human trafficking victims, as they're no longer able to be promoted or advertised on these websites. So there's definitely room for improvement with policies in relation to policies that will benefit survivors and victims of human trafficking while also not trying to cause unintended consequences to any other groups.
Definitely start with coming to training, so be educated, learn how to spot human trafficking, debunk some of those myths that are going on, support an organization so you can give. That's another thing you can do if you're like, I'm not quite ready to be on the streets and doing street outreach, but there's a variety of ways people can get involved. So they can work one-on-one with a survivor, they can drive a van to the places where they're doing street outreach. We need graphic designers who are willing to create graphics for organizations. So there's a variety of ways that you can get involved.
If students want to get involved, they can come here to Hale Hall Room 201 on Thursdays from 6 to 7 p.m. They can also follow us on social media at Why Us Campaign. We have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and we're also working on our LinkedIn. But if you're not into social media, feel free to email us at whyuscampaign@gmail.com.